What does it truly mean to be wealthy? Is it the size of your bank account, the luxury of your possessions, or the prestige of your social status? These questions have puzzled humanity for millennia. Perhaps no philosophical tradition offers more profound and practical insights than Stoicism. Founded in Athens around 300 BCE, Stoicism presents a radical perspective on wealth that resonates powerfully in our era of consumerism and social comparison. Welcome to Voyage to Virtue. Let's dive into this priceless question from the Stoic point of view. Before that, please do subscribe our channel and hit the like button if you want us to make more videos on Stoicism. The Stoics didn't equate wealth with material abundance or external success. Instead, they saw true wealth as an internal state: self-sufficiency, moderated desires, and inner freedom. This view offers a refreshing alternative in a world constantly equating happiness with acquisition. It challenges us to look beyond superficial trappings and consider what truly enriches our lives. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus, a former slave who became one of Stoicism's most influential teachers. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to wealth, suggesting that true richness comes not from accumulating more, but from needing less. Seneca, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, echoed this sentiment when he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." These words cut to the heart of our modern dilemma: the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that keeps us chasing after the next big thing, never quite satisfied with what we have. The Stoics didn't just criticize the pursuit of wealth, they offered a constructive alternative. They advocated for a life of virtue, self-discipline, and inner cultivation. "He is the most powerful person who has power over himself," Seneca advised, pointing to self-mastery as the ultimate form of wealth. This perspective invites us to redefine what it means to live a prosperous life, encouraging us to look inward for fulfillment rather than constantly seeking it in external circumstances. The Stoics teach us that true wealth lies in our ability to find contentment in the present moment, cultivate wisdom and courage, and live in harmony with our deepest values. In this video, we will explore the Stoic approach to wealth. We'll examine how to define personal wealth in a way that aligns with our authentic selves, not societal expectations. We'll discuss the liberating practice of knowing what is enough and how it can free us from the tyranny of endless wants. We'll also delve into the counterintuitive Stoic practice of voluntary poverty, a powerful tool for cultivating gratitude and resilience. Finally, we'll explore how to build genuine, lasting wealth by developing our inner resources and living a life of purpose and integrity. The wisdom of the Stoics offers us a pathway to a more prosperous and meaningful existence. It shows us that the wealthiest life is not filled with the most possessions, but the one most aligned with our values, most at peace with itself, and most open to the richness of human experience. Chapter 1. The Stoic View on Wealth. The Stoics, through their keen observations and life experiences, developed a profound understanding of the paradoxical nature of material wealth. Their insights challenge our conventional notions of what it means to be rich, offering a perspective that is both enlightening and liberating. Let's begin with Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. In one of his letters, he writes, "Money doesn't make you rich. These individuals have riches just as we say we have a fever when the fever really has us." This powerful metaphor reveals Seneca's view that wealth often possesses people rather than vice versa. He observed that many wealthy individuals in Rome were paradoxically among the poorest in spirit. Money had made them obsessive, controlled their schedules, and surrounded them with insincere flatterers. Instead of providing freedom, Their wealth had become a burden, enslaving them to constant worry and the fear of loss. This idea is echoed in another of Seneca's quotes. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Here, Seneca points to the greedy nature of desire. No matter how much wealth one accumulates, one remains spiritually impoverished if the craving for more persists. Epictetus, another towering figure in Stoic philosophy, shared this perspective. A formerly enslaved person who gained his freedom and became a respected teacher, Epictetus had a unique insight into the true nature of wealth and liberty. He once shared a story about a man who had been offered a lucrative job by the Emperor Augustus. The man came to Epictetus boasting about the money and fame he would gain. Epictetus, however, was unimpressed. He responded with probing questions that cut to the heart of what truly matters in life. "I told him not to touch it," Epictetus told his students. When the man protested that he would make a lot of money, Epictetus replied, "Yes, for little in return." The man argued that many people would learn his name, to which Epictetus asked, "Are you planning to be there every time someone utters your name?" When the man said his name would outlive him, Epictetus said, "So will a rock you carve your name into." Finally, when the man boasted about wearing a gold crown, Epictetus delivered the coup de grace. "And they will put a crown made of roses on you for your funeral. You will look even more elegant in that." Through this dialogue, Epictetus demonstrates the fleeting and unsatisfying nature of external markers of wealth and success. He encourages us to look beyond surface-level gains and consider the true cost of pursuing wealth, the sacrifices, compromises, and spiritual poverty that often accompany it. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, also weighed in on this topic. He famously said, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This observation highlights how our perception of wealth is often shaped more by societal expectations and the judgments of others than by our values and sense of fulfillment. The Stoics recognized that true wealth comes from within, from a state of inner freedom, contentment, and self-mastery. As Epictetus put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This radical redefinition of wealth shifts our focus from external accumulation to internal cultivation. By moderating our desires, cultivating contentment with what we have, and developing our inner resources, the Stoics argue that we can achieve a wealth far more durable and satisfying than material riches. These ancient insights challenge us to reevaluate our modern notions of wealth and success. They invite us to consider, are we genuinely enriched by the size of our bank accounts or the number of possessions we accumulate? Or can we find a deeper, more enduring form of richness by mastering ourselves, moderating our desires, and focusing on what truly matters in life? The Stoic view on wealth offers us a path to freedom. Freedom from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction, freedom from the tyranny of others' opinions, and freedom to live a life aligned with our deepest values. By embracing this perspective, we open ourselves to a form of wealth that no market crash can diminish and no thief can steal: the wealth of a life well lived. Chapter 2. Defining personal wealth. In exploring the Stoic perspective on wealth, we now turn to a crucial concept: defining personal wealth. The Stoics recognize that true richness is deeply subjective, beyond mere financial abundance. Let's begin with a powerful quote from Epictetus: "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to personal wealth, suggesting that our richness is not determined by what we own, but by our relationship to our desires. Consider for a moment what a rich life means to you. Is it the freedom to travel the world, the ability to spend quality time with loved ones, the opportunity to pursue meaningful work, or the simple pleasure of a quiet life free from financial stress? The answers to these questions will vary significantly from person to person. Some may find wealth in a life of adventure and new experiences, while others may see it in the depth of their relationships or the impact of their work. Still, others define wealth as the freedom to live unburdened by excessive possessions or obligations. Stoics say the richest person is not one who has the most, but needs the least. This perspective invites us to shift our focus from accumulation to contentment. Instead of constantly striving for more, we can cultivate satisfaction with what we already have. This doesn't mean we should abandon all ambition or desire for improvement. Instead, it encourages us to be mindful of our wants and to distinguish between what we truly need for a fulfilling life and what society tells us we should want. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-sufficiency in defining personal wealth. Another prominent Stoic philosopher advised, "Make yourself wealthy not by facilitating every whim, but by removing them." This suggests that true wealth comes from our ability to meet our needs and find contentment within ourselves, rather than relying on external sources for our happiness. Consider the difference between someone who needs constant entertainment, luxury, and validation to feel satisfied, and someone who can find joy in simple pleasures, meaningful work, and their own company. Who in this scenario is truly wealthier? The Stoic approach to personal wealth also emphasizes the value of intangible riches. Wisdom, virtue, meaningful relationships, and peace of mind are forms of wealth that can't be measured in monetary terms, but are invaluable to a well-lived life. As Epictetus reminds us, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This attitude of gratitude is a form of wealth, allowing us to appreciate and fully experience the richness of our lives in the present moment. Defining personal wealth in Stoic terms also involves aligning our definition of success with our deepest values. In our materialistic culture, success is often equated with financial achievement, status, and external recognition. But the Stoics challenge us to redefine success in terms of personal integrity, virtue, and living in accordance with our values. A successful life, from a Stoic perspective, is not necessarily one that garners external accolades, but one that is true to itself and contributes positively to the world. As we reflect on what it means to be truly wealthy, we are encouraged to look beyond societal standards and superficial measures. We are invited to define wealth in a way that is deeply personal and aligned with our values, aspirations, and the kind of life we want to lead. In doing so, we can find a form of richness that is enduring, fulfilling, and uniquely our own. The Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful framework for redefining wealth in terms of inner contentment, self-sufficiency, and alignment with our deepest values. By shifting our focus from external accumulation to internal cultivation, we can discover a wealth that truly enriches our lives and fosters a sense of lasting fulfillment. This redefinition challenges us to question our assumptions, reevaluate our priorities, and cultivate a more profound sense of richness grounded in our inner resources and authentic selves. Chapter 3: The Liberating Practice of Knowing What Is Enough. In a world where the relentless pursuit of more often overshadows the appreciation of what we have, the Stoic practice of knowing what is enough offers a radical and liberating alternative. This concept, central to Stoic philosophy, encourages us to find contentment by recognizing and embracing our limits. It provides a powerful antidote to the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that defines much of modern life. The Stoics recognize that understanding and accepting our limitations is not about settling for less, but about finding peace and satisfaction within our means. This perspective is beautifully captured in a quote by Epictetus. "He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing." This insight invites us to reflect on the paradox that often accompanies the pursuit of wealth. The more we have, the more we want, and the less content we become. Seneca, another influential Stoic, offered practical advice on this matter. He wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This wisdom challenges us to reconsider the common belief that more is always better. Instead, Seneca suggests that true wealth lies in moderation, in knowing our limits, and in cultivating a sense of satisfaction with what we have. The Stoic practice of knowing what is enough involves a deliberate and mindful approach to our desires. It requires us to distinguish between our needs and wants, recognizing that many of our desires are not essential for our well-being and happiness. This discernment allows us to focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. By doing so, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to acquire more and instead find contentment in the simplicity of what is already ours. This practice also involves a deep sense of gratitude. The Stoics believe that cultivating gratitude for what we have is a powerful way to enhance our sense of wealth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." This gratitude practice shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is present, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. In our modern context, knowing what is enough can be particularly challenging. We are constantly bombarded with messages that equate happiness with consumption, status, and external validation. The pressure to keep up with societal expectations can lead to a never-ending pursuit of more, leaving us feeling perpetually dissatisfied. However, by embracing the Stoic practice of knowing what is enough, we can liberate ourselves from this cycle and find a deeper sense of fulfillment. Practical ways to implement this practice include mindful spending, simplifying our lives, and setting clear boundaries around our desires. Mindful spending involves being intentional about how we use our resources, ensuring that our expenditures align with our values and contribute to our well-being. Simplifying our lives can mean decluttering our physical spaces, reducing our commitments, and focusing on activities and relationships that bring us genuine joy. Setting boundaries around our desires involves recognizing when enough is enough and consciously choosing to prioritize contentment over accumulation. The liberating practice of knowing what is enough encourages us to find contentment within our means and to cultivate gratitude for what we have. It challenges us to distinguish between our needs and wants and to focus on what truly matters. By embracing this practice, we can free ourselves from the endless pursuit of more and discover a sense of wealth that is rooted in simplicity, moderation, and inner peace. The Stoic wisdom of knowing what is enough offers a profound and practical approach to achieving true wealth. It invites us to redefine our relationship with our desires, to cultivate gratitude, and to find satisfaction within our limits. This practice provides a pathway to a more contented, balanced, and fulfilling life, freeing us from the tyranny of endless wants and allowing us to appreciate the richness of what we already possess. Chapter 4. The Counterintuitive Practice of Voluntary Poverty. In exploring the Stoic approach to wealth, we encounter a practice that is both radical and profoundly insightful: voluntary poverty. This practice, championed by many Stoic philosophers, involves intentionally living with less to cultivate gratitude, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for what we have. It is a counterintuitive but powerful tool for achieving true wealth and inner freedom. Voluntary poverty is not about embracing deprivation for its own sake, but about gaining perspective and control over our desires. By temporarily living with less, we can better appreciate the essentials of life and understand that our happiness and well-being do not depend on material abundance. This practice allows us to confront our fears of scarcity and to develop a more resilient and grateful mindset. Seneca, a wealthy Roman statesman and philosopher, famously practiced voluntary poverty despite his vast wealth. He believed that by periodically living as if he had nothing, he could better appreciate what he had and cultivate a sense of inner strength. In one of his letters, he wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This exercise helps to demystify poverty and reduce the fear of losing material possessions, demonstrating that our well-being is not as fragile as we might think. The practice of voluntary poverty also aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control. By choosing to live with less, we assert our agency and demonstrate that we are not slaves to our possessions or desires. This practice helps us develop a sense of self-sufficiency and independence, essential components of true wealth from a Stoic perspective. Moreover, voluntary poverty can foster a deeper sense of gratitude. When we willingly give up our comforts, we become more aware of their value and less likely to take them for granted. This heightened sense of appreciation can enhance our overall sense of wealth and contentment. As Epictetus advised, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By experiencing life with fewer wants, we can better understand and embody this principle. In our consumer-driven society, the idea of voluntary poverty may seem extreme or impractical. However, its benefits are profound and relevant. By occasionally stepping back from our material comforts, we can gain a clearer perspective on our needs and desires. This practice can help us break free from the cycle of constant consumption and find a deeper sense of satisfaction and contentment. There are practical ways to incorporate voluntary poverty into our lives without making drastic changes. We can choose to simplify our diets, reduce our reliance on technology, declutter our living spaces, or take time off from buying non-essential items. These small steps can help us experience the benefits of voluntary poverty and develop a more mindful and appreciative approach to our possessions. The counterintuitive practice of voluntary poverty offers a powerful tool for achieving true wealth and inner freedom. By intentionally living with less, we can cultivate gratitude, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for what we have. This practice challenges us to confront our fears of scarcity, assert our control over our desires, and develop a more self-sufficient and contented mindset. In doing so, we can discover a form of wealth that is not dependent on material abundance, but rooted in inner strength and gratitude. Chapter 5. Building True Wealth. In our journey through the Stoic perspective on wealth, we arrive at a crucial understanding. True wealth is not measured by the accumulation of material possessions, but by the cultivation of inner resources and living a life of purpose and integrity. The Stoics offer a profound and practical roadmap for building genuine, lasting wealth that transcends the superficial markers of success. The first step in building true wealth, according to the Stoics, is developing a strong sense of self-mastery. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advised, "He is the most powerful person who has power over himself. This concept of self-mastery involves cultivating discipline, self-control, and resilience. By mastering our desires and impulses, we gain control over our lives and can make choices that align with our values and long-term goals. This inner strength is a form of wealth that cannot be taken away and provides a foundation for a fulfilling and meaningful life. Another essential aspect of building true wealth is the pursuit of wisdom. The Stoics believe that wisdom, or the ability to understand and navigate the world with insight and clarity, is one of the highest forms of wealth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By cultivating wisdom, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, leading to better decision-making and a more balanced and contented life. Living in accordance with our values is another cornerstone of true wealth. The Stoics emphasize the importance of integrity and living a life that is true to our principles. This involves making choices that reflect our core values, even when it is challenging or unpopular. By aligning our actions with our values, we build a sense of coherence and authenticity that contributes to our overall sense of well-being and fulfillment. Building true wealth also involves nurturing meaningful relationships. The Stoics recognize that human connections are a vital source of richness and fulfillment. Seneca wrote, "One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood." Investing in relationships that are based on mutual respect, understanding, and support can provide a deep sense of belonging and purpose. These connections contribute to our emotional and psychological wealth, enriching our lives in ways that material possessions cannot. The Stoics also taught the importance of contributing to the greater good. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Engaging in acts of kindness, service, and contributing positively to our communities and the world at large can create a sense of purpose and fulfillment. By focusing on the impact we have on others and the world, we can find a deeper sense of wealth that transcends individual gain and contributes to the collective well-being. Lastly, cultivating gratitude is a fundamental practice for building true wealth. The Stoics believe that gratitude enhances our perception of wealth by shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. Epictetus advised, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." By regularly practicing gratitude, we can enhance our sense of abundance and contentment, appreciating the richness of our lives. The Stoic roadmap to building true wealth offers a comprehensive and transformative approach to achieving a fulfilling and meaningful life. It encourages us to cultivate self-mastery, pursue wisdom, live with integrity, nurture meaningful relationships, contribute to the greater good, and practice gratitude. By focusing on these inner resources and values, we can build a form of wealth that is enduring, resilient, and deeply satisfying. In conclusion, the Stoic philosophy provides a powerful framework for redefining and achieving true wealth. By shifting our focus from external accumulation to internal cultivation, we can discover a form of richness that is rooted in inner contentment, self-sufficiency, and alignment with our deepest values. This redefinition challenges us to question our assumptions, reevaluate our priorities, and cultivate a more profound sense of wealth that transcends material possessions and fosters a sense of lasting fulfillment and purpose.